Elliot Deacon, a funeral director, is preparing a body for a funeral. He gently speaks to it and takes a photo with an old-fashioned camera. Meanwhile, Anna Taylor, a middle school teacher, is with her boyfriend Paul, a lawyer. But Anna isn't into it and looks distant. Paul lights a cigarette while she heads for a shower. In the bathroom they talk about their relationship. Paul asks if she's happy. Anna says yes, but she looks sad and anxious. After a tense morning, Anna goes to work. At school, she stops a young student named Jack from getting bullied. He asks her if the classroom chick is dead, but Anna tells him it's just scared. Later we see her at her desk, distracted and popping pills. As she leaves for the day, the hallway lights start shutting off one by one. Spooked, she runs, just as Jack appears and turns the lights back on. Relieved, she walks him out. When she tells him she's going to her old piano teacher's funeral, he wants to go too, but she says funerals aren't for kids. After they part ways, Anna tries to take more pills, but the box is empty. On her way to the pharmacy, she sees a salon and impulsively dyes her hair red. At the funeral, Elliot is near the casket, quietly talking to his wife. Anna approaches the body. It's her former piano teacher. Suddenly she sees the body exhale. Shocked, she hurries to her car, unaware that Elliot is watching her through the window. That night, Anna and Paul go out for dinner. They promise to avoid arguing and enjoy the evening. When Anna sees the expensive wine Paul ordered, she asks if they're celebrating something. Paul starts talking about a job promotion, and Anna assumes he's about to break up with her. Paul and Anna get into a heated argument, and he doesn't even get the chance to propose. Frustrated, he lashes out and tells Anna she's just like her unstable mother. Anna storms off, blasting loud metal music as she drives away into the rain. Distracted and upset, she starts dialing her phone while driving. Suddenly she screams and swerves, and then everything goes black. The next thing we see, Anna is lying on a metal table in a funeral home basement, wearing a red dress and with a bruise on her head. Elliot, the strange funeral director, starts cutting her clothes. She suddenly wakes up, confused and terrified. Elliot calmly tells her she was in a car accident and that she's dead. When she doesn't believe him, he shows her a death certificate. Anna tries to move but can't. Elliot just laughs and says everyone denies it at first. Meanwhile, Paul wakes up in their bed and realizes Anna is gone. He regrets their fight and tries calling her, unaware Elliot has her phone. When Paul's message plays, Elliot ignores it and adds the phone to a creepy cupboard full of other phones and paper bags. Elliot then places a photo of Anna's dead piano teacher on a wall full of similar pictures and talks to it, hinting he's done this before. Paul searches for Anna at her school and then visits her mother, who coldly tells him Anna is dead and blames him for letting her drive in the rain. Paul is devastated. Back in the funeral home, Anna is still convinced she's alive. She pleads with Elliot, but he sews up her head wound and injects a strange yellow fluid into her neck. Just then the doorbell rings. It's Anna's mother visiting her daughter's body. Strangely, the mother shows no emotion. Instead, she criticizes Anna and asks Elliot to dye her hair back to black. Jack cuts out a newspaper article about Anna's recent car accident. His mom sits on the couch, blankly staring at the TV like she's lost inside herself. Jack asks her to pick him up from school, but she doesn't even blink. Meanwhile, at the funeral home, Elliot is cleaning his embalming tools upstairs. Down in the basement, Anna suddenly wakes up on the metal table. She quickly checks her pulse and slaps her hand against the table, desperate to feel something, anything. She realizes she can move and panics. She rushes to use the phone, but the line is busy. Elliot is using it upstairs to finalize her funeral. Anna screams for help and pounds on the doors, but no one hears her. Just then, Paul arrives at the funeral home and demands to see Anna's body. Elliot refuses, saying Paul isn't family. As they argue, Anna hears Paul's voice and yells out, but he can't hear her through the locked basement. When Elliot returns, he finds Anna sitting on the floor. She asks about Paul, but Elliot dodges her questions and turns the conversation back on her. He coldly asks if she ever really loved Paul, then tells her to stop clinging to life. Anna insists she's still alive, but Elliot keeps manipulating her, saying she's just in denial. Frustrated, Paul goes to the police. Since he's a lawyer, the officers know him and let him grab a drink. Instead, he sneaks into the garage where the wrecked cars are kept. He finds Anna's car, sits in the driver's seat and breaks down crying. He spots a bloody bobblehead and suddenly, he hallucinates Anna standing outside the car. A friendly officer finds him and comforts him. Paul takes the bobblehead and leaves. Back in the basement, Anna finds a knife and tries to pick the lock on the door. But as she moves closer, she sees another body, Ms. Whitehall, an older woman. The sight shakes her. Staring at the corpse, she realizes just how much she wants to live. Elliot enters, lowers the room temperature and taunts her. Anna tries to stab him with the knife, but stops. Elliot calmly tells her he can talk to the dead. It's his job to help them move on. He then explodes, demanding to know why she's so desperate to stay alive when in his eyes, her life wasn't even that remarkable. Anna lies still on the table, feeling hopeless. When she opens her eyes, she sees Ms. Whitehall standing in front of her, now dressed in black, calmly combing her hair. The old woman tells Anna she's not ready yet. Suddenly, a dark metal door appears in the corner of the room. As Anna approaches it, she slowly reaches into the darkness, only for a pale hand to grab hers and pull her inside. Anna is dragged into a mysterious world filled with shadows and glowing blue lights. A small, injured girl steps out and tells Anna she's disappointed in her. The girl reveals that she is Anna and says maybe it would be better if she were dead. But just as things get darker, Anna wakes up. It was all a dream. Furious and confused, she jumps up and knocks everything off the shelves, screaming in pain. Upstairs, Elliot is arranging flowers for Ms. Whitehall's funeral when Jack, a young boy, asks when Anna's funeral will be. Elliot is puzzled but doesn't say much. He heads to the basement and finds the place in chaos. He yells at Anna, but she just sits there, stunned, unsure if she's alive or dead. Meanwhile, Paul is at home washing his face. Suddenly, Anna appears before him, completely naked and terrifying. She rips open her chest and pulls out her heart, blood pouring out. Paul screams and wakes up. It was a nightmare. But then he notices the creepy doll he took from the car has turned its head toward him. Back at the funeral home, Elliot brings down the burial dress Anna's mother chose for her. Anna insists she's not ready to die and starts talking to Elliot, distracting him while she secretly steals his keys. When Elliot leaves, she tries to escape, unlocking the front door. But he quickly realizes his keys are missing and rushes back just as she's opening it. Panicked, she runs into the kitchen before he can spot her. Unfortunately, she leaves the keys in the door and all the other exits are locked. Elliot starts hearing noises and begins searching the house. Anna grabs a knife and runs, desperate to find a way out. She picks up a phone and calls Paul, begging for help, but he thinks it's a joke and hangs up. As she clings to the phone, Elliot finds her and calmly insists she's dead, saying, "You people always need proof." Elliot shows Anna a mirror. She sees how pale she looks and starts believing she's really dead. Outside, little Jack spots Anna through the window. Elliot sees Jack but smiles, thinking he can manipulate the boy. Anna, now convinced she's dead, follows Elliot to the basement, where he washes her hair to remove the color, just like her mother wanted. While he's with Anna, Elliot gets a call to prepare another dead body. Meanwhile, Paul is still grieving. He goes to Anna's school to collect her things and finds postcards and picnic photos she took of him. Overcome with emotion, he starts crying and knocks everything off a table. Back in the basement, Elliot is working on a new corpse, sewing its mouth shut and placing plastic in its eyes. Anna asks if Paul cried when he saw her. Elliot lies, saying no, even though Paul hasn't even seen her body. She then asks why people die. Elliot says, because death makes life important. Then he injects her with a yellow fluid and she passes out again. At school, Jack tells Paul he saw Anna at the funeral home wearing a red dress. Paul says Anna didn't have a red dress, but Jack insists. When Jack suggests Paul doesn't love Anna anymore, Paul loses his temper and slaps him. Back at the funeral home, Elliot looks at photos of dead bodies and talks to them. Then he sees a police car outside and panics. When the officer knocks, Elliot hesitates but soon realizes the man is just the brother of the newly deceased. Relieved, Elliot brings him to the basement. While looking at his brother's body, the officer notices Anna. Her head moves slightly. He asks to be left alone for a moment, then walks over to Anna, not to help her, but just to touch her. Elliot walks in and is confused by what he sees. After the officer leaves, Elliot gets angry and starts putting makeup on the dead man, making him look like a clown, talking to the body as if it could respond. Meanwhile, Jack visits the funeral home again. He's curious and heads toward the body, but Elliot appears and scares him. Then Elliot tells Jack he has a special gift, just like Lazarus, the one who brought people back from the dead. Paul tells Jack that the first spirit who spoke to him was his mother, and offers to teach him how to use his gift. Later, while driving, Paul sees a red dress just like the one Jack mentioned. He remembers Anna had a similar dress and rushes to the funeral home. There, he finds Elliot trimming bushes and demands to see Anna. Paul says Jack saw her through the window, but Elliot brushes it off, claiming Jack just has an overactive imagination and visits often. Angry and desperate, Paul storms into the house, shouting Anna's name and runs to the basement. At the same time, Anna wakes up but doesn't react. She now believes she's truly dead. Paul, frustrated, goes to the police and begs them to search the funeral home. But they dismiss him, thinking he's just grieving. Back in the funeral home, Anna lies on the table while Elliot prepares her for the funeral. She opens up about her regrets, how she lived in a routine, never allowed herself to love and just wanted to be happy. Elliot mocks her and questions her choices and relationship with Paul. Then he opens the door and tells her she can leave and start over. But Anna, hallucinating and terrified, freezes at the doorway. Elliot laughs and says people aren't scared of death, they're scared of living. Later, Elliot digs Anna's grave. Jack shows up and asks Elliot for advice. Elliot shares his twisted view of life. He claims he sees people who aren't dead but are already lost inside, just going through the motions. He says it's his job to deal with them and now it's Jack's duty too. The next morning, Anna sits in her coffin, waiting for the final preparations. She asks to see herself in the mirror one last time. When Elliot hands it to her, she notices her breath fogs up the glass, proof she's still alive. Horrified, she realizes Elliot lied to her all along. As she tries to resist, he injects her with something, putting her to sleep. Then he snaps a photo of her body. At the funeral, everyone cries. Even Anna's mother is heartbroken. Paul kisses her one last time and leaves the engagement ring on her finger. Her cold skin convinces him she's really gone. Elliot quickly closes the coffin, making sure no one ever finds out the truth. After everyone leaves, Elliot quietly adds Anna's photo to a wall full of pictures, people he's lied to and killed. Meanwhile, Anna wakes up inside the coffin. She's trapped underground, panicking and screaming, but no one can hear her. At the funeral dinner, Paul is drunk and heartbroken. He still can't accept that Anna is gone. When he confronts Elliot, Elliot taunts him, saying if he really believes she's alive, he better hurry and check. Paul jumps into his car and speeds toward the cemetery. At the same time, Jack, Elliot's young assistant, buries a baby chick alive, whispering, "It's better this way." As Paul races through the night, Anna is running out of air and strength, screaming from inside the coffin. Paul ignores an ambulance trailing behind and keeps going. Elsewhere, Elliot calmly waits in his car with Jack, classical music playing. Jack asks, "Is it over?" Elliot nods. Paul finally reaches Anna's grave, digs it up and pulls her out. She opens her eyes. He kisses her. But then he wakes up. It was just a dream. Now Paul finds himself on the embalming table, Elliot standing over him, cutting open his shirt, just like he did with Anna. Elliot says Paul crashed his car and died before reaching the graveyard. Paul begs and protests, but Jack is already there watching silently. In the end, Elliot stabs Paul with the embalming needle, while Paul screams in agony, Elliot's next victim.